This is 5 Minutes to Change Your Life. My name's Joanne Mallon. I'm an author and coach. I love helping people make wee changes that make a massive difference in their lives. Give me 5 minutes of your time today. Just might change your life. Hey, what about you? How you doing? So we are forging onwards in our mission to have a joyful January. I've been thinking about some of the smaller things in life that bring me joy. Things like wearing bright red lipstick when I'm not even going anywhere. Bunch of flowers just because. A hot bath. Driving home. A really good book. Having coffee with a friend. Having drinks with a friend. Finding joy doesn't have to be complicated. You just have to look for it and make it a priority to have it in your life. And I have a dear friend joining me on the podcast today, author and Pilates expert, Rachel Lawrence. You might know Rachel from her amazingly popular YouTube channel, The Girl with the Pilates Mat. It is such a good channel. Rachel teaches regular live Pilates classes that cater to everybody, regardless of ability. So even if you've never tried Pilates before, or if you're already familiar with it, there will be something there for you. She started this year with a 7-day Pilates challenge. It's all up there on The Girl with the Pilates Mat. So if moving a wee bit more is your thing for this year, please do check it out on YouTube, and I will put the link to that in the show notes. So I asked Rachel, what are the things that bring you joy? And this is what she said.
Hello and a very happy 2025. I'm absolutely delighted to talk to you today about the things that bring me joy, of which there are many. I think the overarching theme today for me is very much about stepping out of your comfort zone to find joy. There's those little rituals that we all have that we like to do. So for me, that might mean my first cup of coffee in the morning. I do like to make my coffee a certain way. So I love really good quality coffee. I like to do it on the stove top. I like the sound of the steam rising, the coffee smells, and then pouring out that first cup in the morning. That is something that always brings me joy on a daily basis. But going back to my theme of stepping out of your comfort zone, one of the things I've realized as I've got older is it's really important to keep doing things that are different, that are not within your day-to-day life, that are not something you're necessarily comfortable with. Because by doing them, not only will you learn something new, but you will feel that sense of confidence, empowerment, and joy that you went and did it. So this last year, for me, this has been quite a revelation, I can tell you, is I started swimming lessons. Now, I did learn to swim at school. That was a long time ago. And I've got a really big holiday coming up. It's a bucket list holiday. And there's going to be quite a lot of snorkeling involved. And I thought, well, I want to be able to get in that water and really enjoy swimming around, looking at the fishes. So I decided to enroll in swimming classes. So that's what I'm going to be doing in January. It's probably the worst time in the UK to start swimming because it's going to be very cold. But I'm going to do it, and it's going to bring me joy because it's going to give me that sense of satisfaction of stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something new. Now, I did start my lessons in December, so I've got a little bit of a head start. I know what to expect, but even with that, it is not my comfortable place swimming. Having to get my head underwater is pretty terrifying for me, but every time I come away all wrapped up, nice and cozy, get into my car and drive home, I think, yes, I did that. And it does make me smile. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing in January. Maybe you could look into learning something new, or perhaps revisiting something that you haven't done for a long, long time. It is really satisfying. And then other things that I really enjoy. So on a day-to-day basis, I do love to read. And this last year, 2024, I spent most of the year reading a series of fictional books. I always read fiction before I go to bed because I find it really does help me wind down for sleep. So last year, and I'm currently on the last of the books, I've been reading the Seven Sisters books by Lucinda Riley. Really lovely book. And there's incredible research done. So you learn something about the culture, you learn a lot about the country, and you also get this mystery unraveling about who this person is and where they're from. So I thoroughly recommend that. Now, when I'm feeling really down and I need a pickup, that's when I turn to the first two loves of my life, which are dance and music, or music and dance. I mean, for me, you can't have one without the other. And what I'll do is I'll go into my Pilates studio. Nobody's there. I'm completely on my own. I might have my dog with me, and I will put on a piece of music and I will dance around the studio, not caring about what I'm doing. I now have mirrors in my studio, so I make sure to make faces at myself in the mirror. And I just am as silly as I can possibly be. And it's amazing how that can really shift your mindset. Now, we all have different tastes in music. The music that really makes me want to kind of break out is anything that makes me think of doing jazz hands. So it'll be generally big band music, anything from kind of Glenn Miller to Jamie Cullum to Michael Bublé. I love kind of 40s and 50s jazz music, Etta James, all kinds of people like that. And that is what I would do. So I would suggest, if you need an instant pick me up, take yourself off where there is nobody but you in the room. Put on a track of music that you love, something that brings you joy, and just start moving your body. It's amazing how quickly that can really shift your perspective. So that's one thing another thing I would recommend. The other thing is when I'm talking about getting out of your comfort zone, when was the last time you went to a museum or an exhibition? Now, that I always think is a fascinating thing to do. It's something I do on a regular basis. So I live in Brighton, but I go up to London probably once a month, and I'll always visit a museum. One of my favourites is the V&A Museum. There's always a wonderful exhibition on there, but also there's a lot of that museum you can see exhibits for free. And I'll just go and wander around on my own for an hour, just learning something new, doing something new. So I would really recommend doing that. And of course, Pilates, because it's what I do for a living. I love doing Pilates. I love exercise, like dance. It just shifts something for me. It's not so much now about how I look. It really is about how I feel and wanting to keep fit and healthy for life. So I would say whatever exercise is your thing, do it, because it is an amazing thing to do. And I think the last question was, what has given me joy over the last year? And I would say last year, the thing that really gave me joy was doing one of my bucket list holidays. I'm a huge fan of film. I love film, all types of film, but I'm particularly interested in Hollywood history. So me and my husband decided to do a trip to Los Angeles, and we spent a week in Los Angeles doing everything we possibly could to do with Hollywood history. So we did a tour of the Paramount studio. We went to the Academy Museum, which is incredible. Highly recommend if you're a film fan to go there. That's the Oscar Museum. And in that museum, you can see costumes from Star Wars. You can get behind the scenes gossip and information about how they cast the characters for The Godfather. There is so much there over so many floors. You can see films, you can go to lectures. It's absolutely brilliant. We also went to the Hollywood Museum, which is on Hollywood Boulevard, opposite the Chinese Man Theatre. Highly recommend that as well. There is so much in there and so much that you learn about Hollywood. But I've got to say, out of the trip, the best thing we did was definitely the Paramount Studio tour. We did the VIP tour, so a little bit of money for that, but worth every penny because you get so much gossip about Hollywood back in the day. You see scenes from films that you've seen in every film you've ever watched because so much was filmed on that lot. So I would highly recommend that. And I think probably that's about it from me. My main thing to say to you is in January, really think about your year. What do you want your year to be? What would you love to fill your year with? What is going to bring you joy this year? Make a list and then try and do at least one of those things every month, from reading a new book to doing some exercise or planning your dream trip. Whatever you do, I hope you have a wonderful 2025. Sending you all lots of love and take care.
Wow, that was so inspiring, all of it. Thank you, Rachel. That was Rachel Lawrence, the girl with the Pilates mat from YouTube. Don't forget to check out Rachel's 7-day Pilates challenge. It's just 20 minutes of Pilates every day to get you going in this lovely brand new year. So join me next time for more Joyful January. Bye.